Hey, welcome back everyone to another episode of SCP Foundation following the story of Carla Stana. So in the previous one we dropped off after finishing Bella's, or at least archiving her storyline. And I gotta say it was pretty entertaining until I got towards the end because it was annoying because he kept capturing me. Either way. Alright, so let's see where our next mission goes. How's the first mission, Carl? Smooth sailing all throughout, and I can help. Okay, it was not smooth sailing at all. Okay, not at all. I was a bit confused at first, but I got over it. Good. I have to admit, you are no worse than I expected. How about a taco night for celebration? So, are we really using a living being as a tool to contain anomalous objects? Sometimes, yes. Hey, MIT boy. I've seen a great many field agents. They are prepared to sacrifice themselves at any time in order to complete a task. Secure, contain, protect. For them, it is a creed worth paying the ultimate price for. And it is our duty to record all of this truthfully and honestly, so that people may remember them forever. I understand. Do you, MIT boy? Anyway, you completed your first mission smoothly. We should celebrate. How about going for a drink? Old place? Count me in. Awesome, let's get drunk. Hey, how about a taco night? Or a donut night? What are you, a cop? To celebrate the completion of the first ever archive mission, my colleagues threw a small party. It all started to grow on me, my colleagues in this place. I started to really enjoy all of it. Maybe it was all the drinking. I dreamt I was lost in a strange cave. It was dark and damp, it smelled of decay. In the depths of the darkness, I saw all times 2 red dots, monitoring my every move. What a strange dream. Tequila's too strong of a drink. I need an espresso to sober me up. Man, they really don't want you to see what happens outside of the SCP during your leisure time. It's only during work hours. Alrighty. What are we gonna be doing today? Object is an irregular clay plot with... Oh god, not him. With a height of 23 centimeters and diameter of 28 centimeters. But do not be fooled by its appearance. It is an organism, a womb. Yes, an earthen womb. SCP-660 may be safely stored in a standard safe deposit box provided its mouth remains covered with an inert perspex disc and sealed with tamper-proof tape. Log test involving human experiment with SCP-660. Lab report 660-A, sample condition, skin flap harvested from the left thigh of the cadaver of D612. Donor was healthy in all respects prior to death. Sample used, tissue sample left in SCP-660 for 2 months duration. Results. Daily biopsies indicate viability of cell samples taken from this tissue graft are cultured in vitro, revealing a predisposition towards precancerous and cancerous growth. Lab report 660-B, sample condition, skin flap harvested from the left thigh of the cadaver of D612. Sample use. Tissue sample left in SCP-660 for 2 months duration, then grafted onto the torso of a D-class personnel with 2nd and 3rd degree burns. The recipient's anomaly testing record had no contradictions with SCP-660. Result. Tissue graft takes without complication, healing according to usual steps of adherence, serum inhibition, and revascularization. However, as is common with severe burns cases, the compromised skin barrier led to infection and eventual fatal septic shock. Post-mortem biopsy and analysis indicate skin graft would have returned to full histological structure and function had the recipient survived. Lab report 666. Man, I can't talk at all today. 660C, sample condition. Live member of Mus musculus, house mouse, BALBC strain, acquired for laboratory testing by use of FCP. The consciousness of D614 was implanted into the specimen. D614 was chosen for its demonstrated resistance to the negative effects of prolonged isolation and sensory deprivation. Sample use. Specific left in SCP-660 for 2 months duration. Result. Usually, SCP was incapable of restoring D614's consciousness to its original body after removal from 660. A computer interface was developed to facilitate two-way communication with D614. An interview was conducted once D614 was familiarized with this interface. An excerpt is included below. Dr. Brown, I guess I'll have to take your word for it, and how did that feel? Suffocating and stretching. Could you be more specific? How the hell do you think it felt? Even mice need to grow and move and live. Every part of me was straining, but I was stuck. I thought I would explode. Full contents of the interview are classified. An autopsy revealed precancerous growth throughout the mouse's body. Lab report 660D, sample condition, right arm loss and traumatic amputation just beneath the elbow. Sample youth D778 was severely injured in an incident involving SCP. Lost limb recovered as part of cleanup operation. Subject would not have survived immediate reattachment surgery due to other injuries involved severe vascular compromise. Severed extremely preserved in SCP-660 in bid to preserve tissue viability. Result. Right arm successfully reattached to previous owner. Subjects report return of sensation in fingers of right hand. Contrary to poor prognosis due to severe tissue avulsion and nerve damage sustained in the initial injury, biopsy reveals little to no precancerous cell growth. Transplant ruled a tentative success. D778 has been retained for further observation. Addendum. Human testing with SCP-660 is suspended due to the sudden death of D778 from teratoma with malignant transformation. I've seen fetus and fetus before, but never have I had one try to grab my probe during an autopsy. Dr. Grayson Appendix 730-2012. As of today, SCP-660-1 has been neutralized. SCP-660 no longer exhibits any other forms or shapes. It has been classified as safe by the Foundation. Research on SCP-660-1 will be transferred to the Reliquary Research Institute. Details available to personnel with clearance 460. Okay. So, that was a bit to read. But, okay. Okay. Uh-huh. And I probably should have been doing this as I was reading it. But I wasn't sure it was going to start the storyline. And submit. Okay. Addendum 143. The trees were grown on site from saplings obtained from parent plants located in Nara Prefecture, Japan in 1905. The parent trees were owned by a family of traditionalist swordsmiths claiming to be descended from a legendary sword maker named Amokane. They refer to the original trees as Jinki no Kadachi, or the Blade Wood Grove. It is from them that the Foundation gained the techniques to cut and work the wood and petals into serviceable items. The original trees are still in Japan, owned by the government, and still tended to by the same family. However, the government has denied all existence of the trees, and any products made from them are kept within the country. Addendum 143-2. SCP-143 is to be watered twice every day on a regular basis via a large sprinkler system. Unless already watered by local precipitation, personnel are not allowed to enter the enclosure without level 4 administrative clearance and are advised not to touch any of SCP-143, nor stand beneath them unless wearing proper protective gear. Wait, is that what we saw when we went into SCP-770, the Hangman, in the previous episode? All those trees, it was kind of bloody looking, like it came from a horror scene. Is that what that was? It is important that no one be within the containment area when SCP-143 begins to shed. However, after the shedding has concluded, the collection of the fallen petals for testing purposes has been authorized by the project director. See SCP-143 testing log. Document 143-A. We lost 3 staff to 143 today. They were collecting petals dropped by the trees the previous day when a sudden gust picked up, shaking a good deal of the petals from the trees and blowing them around. Stayed that windy for the whole day. I'd sent a cleanup crew, but it's still pretty windy, and the hot petal is still falling. We'll have to pick up the remains when the wind dies down in a couple of days. SCP-143 testing logs. Appendix 143-D0 harness test, 5000 HP on the Brenner scale. Appendix 143-D1 withstanding temperatures of up to 1800 degrees Celsius. Appendix 143-D2 the weight to strength ratio surpasses even that of titanium, being some 15% lighter than aluminum. Both are notoriously difficult to work due to their properties. Appendix 143-D11. But under high temperatures, upwards of 1500 degrees Celsius, separate pieces are capable of being fused together. Okay. So, some hardy stuff. Okay, so I'm guessing this is gonna be nothing but reading, and not much showing the next events. So, sorry, if you guys want to skip ahead, I don't know how long this is gonna go on for, but if you want to skip ahead, fine by me. I'm gonna be reading all this because I'm curious. I want to see what they have here. Log of items vending during testing phase 8. 800 unit entered for each item. Items being dispensed every 2 minutes. SCP-261 is attached to power. Notes: SCP-261 safety regulation stipulates that SCP-261 may be used a maximum of 10 times per 24-hour period, with no transaction value exceeding the equivalent of 500 Japanese yen. However, in view of the necessity of the experiment, the Foundation has approved Dr. request to use SCP-261 at high frequency. Coke Zero, a can of Diet Coke packaging in English. Cheetos, a small bag of Cheetos snack food packaging in English. Black, a single pack of caffeinated chewing gum packaging in Japanese. Yan Yan, a single Yan Yan cone with peach dipping frosting packaging in Japanese. The Meiji Seika company does not produce this flavor. Pepsi Dragon Twist, a can of Pepsi Cola with a trace of fruit flavor packaging in English. Flavor identified as dragon fruit. PepsiCo does not produce this product. Dark Side Cola, a can with clear plastic sides packaging in Japanese. Liquid inside is clear. When opened, liquid appears to react to the air and changes to dark black over a period of several seconds. The black correlation looks like bellowing smoke and cannot be reversed. Liquid's taste described as cola with something spicy in it. The Little Bakery, 7 grain. A small tube the size of a candy bar with a green button made of aluminum packaging in English. When the top is twisted off, a mass of dough is extruded. Dough contains several enzymes and bacteria that have not yet been identified. On contact with air, these cause the dough to rise and bake, killing the microbes in the process. Produces a small round loaf of bread weighing 250 grams. Taste described as good, but chewy. Lemon clamps. Thick plastic baggie with a plastic tube on the side containing water and 12 clamps, packaging in Dutch. Following on packaging instructions, the plastic tube was cracked like a glow stick. Liquid in the bag flashed to stem, venting from a hole that popped open at the top of the bag, slightly burning one researcher. Steaming finished after 38 seconds, after which clamps were found to be fully cooked and infused with a mild lemon flavor. On investigation, clamps matched no record species. Diet Ghost. A can containing an instance of SCP-2107 packaging was in English. Testing done on this instance provided similar results to other contained instances of SCP-210. This marks the first time SCP-261 has vended another SCP unit. Unknown. Small mesh bag filled with small multicolored pyramids, packaging in an unknown language. Pyramids found to be very hard and unpleasant tasting compared to chalk in taste and consistency. When placed in hot water, pyramids open and produce strings that quickly dissolve, coloring the water the same shade as the pyramid. Water had no additional taste, but testing revealed a sharp increase in mineral, carbohydrate, and protein content, with several minerals unidentified at the present time. This content was found to be consistent with the recommended daily intake of nutrients for adult humans. Researchers ingesting the water reported stomach cramps 2 hours later, but no other effects. Unknown. Aluminum box with small glass window on the side and a large round button on the top. Packaging in an unknown language. Box is seamless and appears to be filled with small round animals covered in fur, each with 3 small paws and a single large eye. Pressing the button causes the inside of the box to rapidly become superheated, cooking the small animals alive. That's terrifying. Muffled noises and scratching were heard for several seconds during the cooking process. After 1 minute 30 seconds, the front panel opens and gives access to the now cooked animals. Professor Kane volunteered to eat the animals, with no other researchers willing to do so. Taste described as crunchy and very spicy, with a small hint of beef. Unknown. Tall, thin aluminum can packaging in an unknown language. Opening the can caused a chemical reaction with the liquid inside the can. Liquid was apparently not intended for oxygenated atmosphere and detonated violently, causing several injuries and killing 2 researchers. Testing discontinued and area cleared. Testing the area observed to smell like citrus for several days. Doctor, in conclusion, it was either food or drinks, nothing else. How awful. Let's call it an end. Okay, I missed something up here. Okay, there we go. And submit. Okay. Zoe, it's 5 minutes to 4 o'clock now. Just about ready. Gent, you're not coming? Nah. Doesn't suit me. Yeah, he kind of seems like that. Guys, aren't you forgetting someone? Me, Carl, your best friend. Hi, Carl. We're going to attend a monthly lecture. Monthly lecture? Each month, the Foundation invites someone famous to hold a lecture, to share new knowledge and insights pertaining to SCP. For this month's lecture, they invited Dr. Trevor. He holds a high reputation within the Foundation. Interesting. Come in. I'll send you the link to the monthly lecture. Just a sec. SCP-1762 and I, Daniel Trevor. Okay, this must be the lecture then.
There are many stories in this world. Some are read widely all over the world. Some are hidden in dust and known only by a handful of people. Today I'm going to tell you a story no one else has heard before.
Until today.
A real story of mystery and wonder and adventure. And then you too will become the guardian of this story. The story takes place in a world of long ago. The hero of our story is a little boy. His name is Daniel. One day, out of nowhere, Daniel got a serious case of chickenpox. It made him look like a strawberry.
Yeah, I remember chickenpox.
To make sure he didn't spread
Got
it to
all itchy.
others, Mrs. Page, the principal, had him isolate in an attic.
Yeah, because that's what you need
And
to do.
so, in the attic he lived, all on his own.
Till the day he died.
Mr. Daniel, while up here in this attic, you'll have plenty of time to practice your penny whistle.
What's a
I
penny
hope
whistle?
you practice well and prepare for next month's art festival.
But Mrs. Page, the melody is so difficult.
Don't give up, boy. You don't give up before you fight.
Okay, so I just looked it up. A penny whistle is a musical device? It kind of looks like a clarinet. Alrighty. Okay. Oh, do I need to press D?
Daniel was reluctant at first, but he trusted Mrs. Page, and he knew he should listen. And so he practiced the penny whistle.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Nuggets, I'm gonna screw this up. I can. So far, so good. I'm not good at this. I barely had this class on typing. Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, I only missed one, so that's not bad, right?
Suddenly, he heard some strange noises in the corner of the attic.
Huh? Who's there?
Daniel decided to go over and take a look.
Nothing? Oh! Well, this is really interesting. That is really cool, honestly.
It was a mouse trap, and there was a red origami.
Oh no,
paper
I know this
dragon
story
inside
now.
of it.
I remember this. It had a really sad ending.
Daniel carefully removed it.
Unless I'm thinking about something else.
It was marvelous and beautiful. The only problem was part of its wing was
Yeah, if I remember
damaged.
correctly, it's a box that leads to a different
Daniel
world.
found a way to repair it.
Okay. Gotta play doctor. Is this it?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Okay, is it?
Mm-mm.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
What am I doing?
Mm-mm. 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 Mm-mm.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
What am I doing?
Mm-mm.
Is there any way to get a hint? I'm stupid. I don't know. I don't know what to play.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I need a hint. Okay, I did that. And what?
Daniel held the repaired paper dragon high up in the air, imagining that it soared over all the world below. He played and played with the paper dragon.
Wee! Woo! Dragon! Soar!
In the warm afternoon sun, Daniel had to fight his eyelids just to keep them open.
Could it be?
Yeah, the dragon was flying.
Or is this all just a dream?
The next day, with boredom and loneliness weighing him down, he began to fiddle with the old radio.
Hello?
Our town is located in the plains, where earthquakes are not particularly common. Although there are 17 fault zones around us, they are all inactive.
For now. It's a matter of time.
A scrunched up ball of paper rolled over to his feet.
Are we playing soccer now?
Where did this paper ball come from?
Just as Daniel went to pick it up, the ball suddenly came to life, and it rolled away. Daniel chased after it.
It's a dung beetle. It's moving around, and it's invisible. Okay. Oh. Gotta move again. What? Can I pick it up? No. Where'd it go? Oh. Get back here, you mysterious little thing.
Just as he was about to seize the rolling paper ball, suddenly, terrible sparks erupted from it.
Ooh. Wasn't expecting that. It's an
Before
evil
his
ball.
very eyes, the paper ball began to grow bigger.
What kind of story is this?
At that moment, a red figure suddenly
The
appeared.
dragon!
The red figure quickly subdued the paper ball and threw it into a cardboard box.
And then it went poof. Oh, or nothing.
Daniel studied the red figure carefully. It had a sticker on its fluttering wing. It was the paper dragon.
I wasn't dreaming. Thank you for saving me.
Daniel was grateful and very happy. He walked closer to the paper dragon, but the paper dragon seemed timid and afraid and backed away.
What? We helped you.
Just then, Daniel had an idea.
What you got there,
He took out
Daniel?
his penny whistle and slowly played a tune.
Oh, here we go again. Let's see if we can do better this time. I doubt it still. Oh man, I missed again. Oh man, I'm doing worse this time. I missed two.
The paper dragon enjoyed the sound very much. It began to move along with the rhythm, flipping up and down in the air. Soon the two were playing and dancing, just like old friends.
That's sweet. Oh no, he crumbled.
The paper dragon traced out a beautiful arc in the air, communicating with Daniel in a unique way.
Did he unfold himself?
My cherished friend,
Damn, that
after many long years, we finally meet again.
dragon's got a deep voice.
Tell me, how has your family been? A great thank you for playing that music for me. You know how I love the beautiful rhythm of that instrument.
So he likes penny whistles.
But we ought to take precautions, as the room is not stable.
What do you mean it's not stable?
You still remember how the room works?
Oh, he's talking about the box?
Welcome to visit anytime.
The piece of paper then changed back into the shape of a paper dragon and flew into the cardboard box. The box closed shut, and a calm silence was restored to the attic. Daniel rushed to find a watercolor pen and marked the box with
You
excitement.
know, this
in
kind of
his
reminds me of
fingertips.
Dragon Tales in a way. Here be dragons.
Over the next few days, the paper dragon came out often to play with Daniel. During this time, Daniel introduced many of his friends to the paper dragon.
That cat's name is Mrs. Carter. Ever since I secretly fed her some fish for dinner, we've been good friends.
I would imagine. That's a good kitty.
That's Stu. This is Jessica's pet. He doesn't like Rainy Day or Mrs. Carter.
Oh.
Only smoked sausages for his taste.
He's a fancy dog.
And now, we are friends too. My name is Daniel. What's your name?
The paper dragon flapped its wings as if it didn't understand him.
Well, since you like the sound of the penny whistle so much, why don't I just call you Penny?
Appropriate.
I'll keep practicing to make it sound better.
Daniel and Penny then played baseball together
What?
in the
How's
attic.
he gonna capture
Let's
that?
play cat.
That's not gonna work. Or is it? Oh, okay. I thought we were gonna throw the ball at him. That's why I'm like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
But just as they were in the middle of enjoying themselves, a violent shaking suddenly rose from the ground.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That dragon better hide.
The stubborn earthquake is back at it, folks, and it seems even stronger than last time.
At this moment, the box suddenly shot open, and thick clouds of smoke billowed out, followed by several paper balls.
Oh, no.
Penny attacked the paper balls without a moment's hesitation.
Yeah.
And promptly threw them back into the box.
We're not trying to get shocked here.
Penny then flew around in front of Daniel and rushed right back into the box. As the box closed, the earthquake stopped. Facing a friend's farewell without a formal goodbye, Daniel felt confused and lost. He moved the box to the center of the attic. Facing it, he practiced his penny whistle, day in and day out.
I can't remember, but
As the
isn't there
days
like a
went
war
by,
happening on the other
Daniel's
side?
playing became smoother. One day, the box suddenly began to move.
Ah, it's the paper ball again.
Huh?
1, 2, 3, 4. This time there were 4 paper dragons. But they weren't alone. Enemies began to jump out of the box too.
Earthquake! Another earthquake! This time it's reached a magnitude of 5.8!
In that small attic, the 4 paper dragons fought fiercely against the paper balls. This time, the paper balls used new tactics. They clumped together into a single monstrous ball of paper. It
Quick,
began to
kill it with
shoot
fire.
strong bursts of electric sparks at the paper dragons as they flew through the air. As they were hit, the paper dragons fell from the air, one after the other. Seeing the injured paper dragons, Daniel felt very distressed and anxious.
Yeah, I would be too.
Just then, one of the paper dragons painfully started to fly and gathered the remainder of its power.
Fireball!
The paper dragon transformed into a great beam of light and dove straight down to pierce through the monstrous paper ball. And then came another paper dragon. The monstrous paper ball was blasted to bits, exploding into smaller paper balls. Trembling, they struggled to escape back into the box.
Don't mess with them dragons.
The sacrificed paper dragons were reduced to swirling shreds of paper, and a silence pervaded. Peace and tranquility were restored once again to the attic.
But at what
Daniel
cost?
saw the remaining 2 paper dragons lying on the floor, badly wounded. He rushed to grab some stickers and treated them at once.
Paging Dr. Daniel. Yay. That's one. Is this the same red dragon we helped earlier?
Suddenly, countless paper dragons began to gush from the box. The 2 wounded paper dragons were repaired and began to fly. Like 2 colored threads, they merged with the other dragons, flying in unison. The dragons moved like a tide, flying freely through the attic. Daniel eagerly took out his penny whistle. he showed all his paper dragon friends the results of his hard work and practice.
I mean, I'm not doing a good job. Oh man, I missed. I missed the last note. How could I miss the last note?
In the sweet melody of his playing, Daniel felt himself enter into the world of dragons.
Hello, Mr. Bunny. Can I move around? Oh. That is not made out of paper now. Oh, look, a letter.
The paper dragons merged into a long letter and floated down towards Daniel to tell their story.
After the last war, the fantasy world enjoyed a long spell of peace and stability. But now, the giants have returned. They have launched ferocious attacks, trying to invade your world through the room. We are prepared to launch the final defense. Then we will have to destroy your room.
Oh yeah, that's right.
For it is the last remaining entryway into your world. Please believe this farewell will only be temporary. We will not be apart forever,
I would hope so.
and we will never forget our eternal mission of protecting you.
At that moment, the paper dragons flew back into the box. Daniel still couldn't fully understand what the paper dragons had meant, but he had a vague feeling in his heart that he may never see his new friends again.
Yeah, he had, like, years pass and there's like no sign of them whatsoever. And then one day they get like one letter passes through, I think, with a single message.
A few days later, Daniel's chickenpox had fully recovered. He could now play the penny whistle very, very well. But the paper dragons never returned. Maybe it was time to leave and move on.
Earthquake warning! Magnitude 6.2! A massive earthquake is hitting our town! All townspeople, please leave your houses immediately and move to safe open spaces!
Uh-oh.
Just then, countless paper dragons shot from the cardboard box. However, it seemed like they were under attack, spinning and falling through the air in confusion.
What's happening?
Daniel quickly grabbed the stickers out from his bag and did his best to heal the injured paper dragons.
Okay. Come on. Why can't I? Who's next? Who's next? Okay. Anyone else? Anyone? You? Oh, you just disappeared. Who else needs help? You, right there. Okay, did that do it? Whoa. That's a lot of paper balls.
The paper balls swarmed together and pushed Daniel away, subduing him firmly in the corner. He couldn't move.
Douse him with water.
Suddenly, ominous clouds rose from the box, and a violent lightning flashed through the room. The figure of a giant slowly emerged from the thick clouds, and the entire attic became overwhelmed with its evil aura.
The earthquake is growing stronger, now with a magnitude of 7.1. Heaven almighty, are we doomed?
Not if the dragons have something to say about it.
The giant unleashed its power maniacally. The paper dragons struggled against it, with no means of fighting back. At this critical moment, two paper dragons shined brilliantly. Together, they heroically crashed their bodies into the giant. Daniel thought the giant had been defeated by the paper dragons, but soon he found that things would probably not be so simple. The giant's figure could still be seen in the thick smoke, looking evil and terrible. The attacks of the paper dragons had had no effect, and the giant had only grown stronger. It fought back with a new ferocity. The paper dragons were simply no match for it.
The earthquake is growing stronger still. The greatest disaster this town has seen in over 100 years. My heavens, will this nightmare ever end?
With the paper dragons now all but defeated, Daniel spotted a frail figure in the distance.
It's our friend.
It was Penny. It flew gently in front of Daniel and affectionately rubbed its head against his fingers,
Aww.
as if this whole crisis had never happened. Daniel felt like Penny was trying to tell him something, but he didn't quite understand what.
I think he's saying goodbye.
Penny then left Daniel and soared into the air with a determination in its wings. Suddenly, the other paper dragons seemed to be summoned. They flew through the air, all together in unison, responding to the call without an ounce of hesitation. At that moment, Penny turned into a great red beam and rushed fast towards the giant. The other dragons followed, shining together like a shooting star. At that moment, Daniel seemed to see a real dragon flying.
No!
The huge explosion from the impact drowned out everything else in the attic. The attic rained down with countless pieces of paper, the leftover scraps of the paper dragons. Daniel wanted to collect all of the pieces. He thought he could still fix them.
I would too. I would try to do my best to put them all together. Is there any more? I mean, there's gotta be. I think that one? No. That's... Oh god, it's hard to tell with all this paper just floating down. Anything here? Where? Okay, guess I got them all. Yes. Okay, I gotta bring it down. There we go.
Goodbye, my friend.
Aw.
The nightmare is over. The earthquake has stopped. With God's mercy, our town is safe. We thank you, Lord, for your protection.
And you should thank the dragons. They're the ones that stopped it. Now I'm sad and in a bad mood.
A few days later, the art festival was held as scheduled. Daniel attended the show with his penny whistle.
And now, Daniel Trevor will perform a penny whistle solo of a song titled Fly With Me.
Alright, I better not mess it up this time. Gonna do my best to get 100% and not miss a single note. I'm with you, Daniel. Nuggets.
And that's how the story ends. Now, you might be wondering, what happened next? Are there still paper dragons in the world? Well, that's a difficult question to answer. But I believe that they are still protecting us somewhere in this world, just like they promised they would, forever, into eternity.
Out of all the SCPs, that one's my favorite. Dragon soar! What lovely paper dragons. I love them so much. Me too. SCP-1762 is now being contained at Reliquary Research Institute, where Daniel is supervising director. That cardboard box has remained silent. How do you know all this, Gan? I'm glad Daniel became an SCP agent, though. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have left that box alone and would have fought just to be with them, or at least the chance to see them again. I thought you didn't attend the monthly lecture. Under the direction of Dr. Trevor, Gant spent 2 years researching SCP-1762, so he knows far more than we do. Wow. Wow. Hey, I told you all that particular SCP didn't suit me. Oh, come on now, Gant. But really, imagine you tidying up files and piles of cute little fairy books. It's kind of adorable. Enough already. I'm getting back to work. But I'm going to stress the point again. That particular SCP did not suit me. I have been here for a month now, and I am not entirely adjusted to the job. Though the content of my work is to simply process archive files, it is work that will never bore me. A few absurd jokes aside, most of the archives are really rather fascinating. I have been having hallucinations lately. I feel like someone is calling me, a voice low and uncertain. They seem to be trying to communicate with me, but I cannot understand a single word they say. In fact, I had planned on seeing a doctor, but Zoe told me it was the typical rookie syndrome and would clear up in a few days. I certainly hope that is the case. Well, alright, well that's where I'm gonna leave it off for today. Got a last time we got scared. This time we had a happy and yet a bit sorrowful ending. But I do hope that, you know, those little dragons will come back one day. I mean, they said they'll come back, right? Anyway, tell me what you guys think about that. Is that one of your favorite SCPs? If not, which one is it? You know, put it down in the comments so I can actually see and look them up later. Alright, I hope you guys have a good night and sweet dreams. Bye.